What's up, core reporters, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for a recap of what went down on last week's episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter. I do apologize for the late recap, but listen, the show airs on Thursday nights, which are my social nights. Okay, the show's not interesting enough to have such a late slot in the week, and it's causing me issues, but that's fine. Let's talk about it. As usual, I watch the show using Philo, which is a streaming service that you can use to watch all sorts of reality shows online, including, by the way, other shows I'm going to be recapping, like season 2 of Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup. And then we've got Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin's show coming up too. So I've got a link in the description box of this video that you can use to watch those shows and Teen Mom Next Chapter as well. So we kick off the episode finding out that Mackenzie's health is not in a good place to continue forward with her IVF journey. So it's on ice for now. And we turn our attention over to what is going on with her son, Ganon. It's super duper sweet that Ganon tells Mackenzie's fiance, Kasani, about everything that he has going on in life, including his crushes. And he's got one right now that he wants to ask to the school dance. Meanwhile, in LA, Ryder's heart issues are raising concerns again, and she needed a recent EKG and further evaluation to figure out what exactly is going on. Cory is especially devastated because he's got another daughter going through a lot of serious heart issues, in fact, having surgery on her heart, and her name is Maya. Now, in West Virginia, I felt so bad for Allie and Leah during their conversations about Allie not being able to walk long distances despite thinking that she can. And so Allie is extremely defensive about this entire thing, which is probably because she hates how much the wheelchair makes her stand out. Maybe she's being bullied at school. Like, she really just wants to fit in as much as possible, which is so understandable. It's so hard as a kid, kind of standing out in some way that other people might make fun of you for, right? So I'm really, and I said this last week's recap as well, that I'm really, fighting for Allie this season. I love her so much. So she was so frustrated in this conversation that she didn't even want to hug Leah at the end of it. And, despite that, I got to say that Leah has been really, really doing a fantastic job this season. She might even be, dare I say it, my fave. Now, in Vegas, Ashley's mom is about to take a job as a pastry chef on a cruise ship, which I think is super duper cool. And I really hope that everything turns out well for her. However, Ashley tried to make her feel guilty about it because she needs her mom's help for her daughter, Holly, a lot. But at the end of the day, her daughter is her responsibility. She chose to have her with like a loser. I'm sorry. We can't punish her mom and hold her mom prisoner for our own life choices, right? So, faut assumer, comme on dit en français. You have to just own up to your choices and work around them, right? And Ashley makes a lot of money from the show, and I'm assuming she makes money like doing endorsements on Instagram or something like that. So I do think that she can get some hired help. She's also got like a sister who's around her age as well, who's really involved with her. So like if ever she needs that kind of help, she's got that as well, right? I am glad that her mom, Pastor T, chose to go ultimately. And don't forget that Ashley's mom also just lost a child, right? Her son died. And so I think that, and you can see it in her eyes, that it's still causing her a lot of pain. So this is not just about like getting a job. This is about getting away, maybe fulfilling a life goal and like daring to do something like that and really focusing on herself for the first time ever. She's been a mom since she was a child, okay? Like she was like 16 years old or whatever when she had a child. And so now she really, really needs to have some time to herself, and I am all for it. I love the way that she spoke to Holly about the job and, how long she would be away for. And Holly was super duper encouraging as well. Holly did a great job sharing her own feelings about it all. And so there you go. She's out on that cruise. Good for her. In the Sunshine State of Florida, it is time to celebrate Nova's 13th birthday, and Devon comes all the way down from Michigan to join in on the celebrations. Remember, he moved up north for a job opportunity. And so the girls, they go to a beauty supply store to buy some drag supplies for him because they want to dress him up as a girl. And, Nova, she's like looking at things. She's like, oh, this would be great on my dad. And then Stella's like, yeah, that would be great for father. And like right next to her, you've got Roxy like, wow, that's so sad. She called him father. He ain't even her daddy. Like they're And then they move the conversation to the side, but after having already said that in front of the child, which is just so wild to me. Like, they're always looking for like a doom and gloom moment. But to be honest, I kind of felt like this might have been a staged moment. I feel like it didn't seem natural for Stella to say father. I feel like they told her to say that, not they as in Brianna and Roxanne, but I feel like producers did so that they continue to push the same old storyline that has already been pushed a million times. We've already discussed Devon looking at Stella and wanting to treat her like another daughter. So, it seems like Brianna is really starving for content, that they're back to pushing this again. Meanwhile, on the other side of Florida, you've got Mackenzie's fiance Kasani speaking with her son Ganon about the game plan for the school dance now that his crush has accepted to go as his date. Ganon is not trying to hear nothing about no birds nor the bees. So they pull off in the car to go to the dance, and as Ganon is like looking around, he's just amazed at how many kids there are. He's like, wow, this must be like every sixth grade in the city. I was like, oh, it's so cute. He's so shy, And then he gets so excited because he sees his friend who happens to be named Bentley. And when he says that, I'm like, do you guys think that that kid is named Bentley because his mom or whatever, dad, most likely mom, is a big fan of Teen Mom? And like, is it a coincidence that like, if this is the case, right, that a big super fan has a kid named Bentley and that kid is friend with another kid from the show? Like, I don't know, man. Something about it was just, it got my little tinfoil hat going, you guys, I gotta say. Now, Cory and Leah in West Virginia discussed the wheelchair situation and regrets about not pushing the wheelchair usage more when Allie was younger so that it could be like more natural to her. And, I gotta say, like, I feel for them because they were so young and they really thought, because they weren't as educated on it, right? So they really maybe thought that like if she pushed herself to like walk more, that would like that you know what I mean? Like maybe they thought like she would always be walking if she walked more. And if she were in the wheelchair, she wasn't using her muscles. And so then it would be worse. Like I don't think they really, really got how important wheelchair usage was. So I do have to give them a pass for that. Now, remember how we said that Devon was going to be like treated like a princess or a drag queen for Nova's 13th birthday? We start to get a glimpse of this now. And they treated him to a spa day, which I thought was really cute, right on down to the cucumber eyes and like the face mask and everything. And I love that he and Brianna were both good sports about it. But like, listen, it's really cool at the same time. I want a friggin', face mask. I want cucumbers on my eyes. I want the little fuzzy headband and stuff. Like, it was cute that they both got that. Nova, she was like, oh, like, I'm just painting your nails. I got clear nail polish, which he was like, oh, okay, cool. But then when he takes off the cucumber, he sees that he has hot pink nails and he's like, but he's still a good sport about that, right? So I thought that was really cute. Then they put the wig on him and everything. Like, they were having a time, and I love that for them. I think that the DeJesus family should be sponsored by Chick-fil-A at this point. Like, that is all they eat. And I'm not even hating, because when we got Chick-fil-A that finally opened up in Ottawa the other year, I went twice during my time there in the summer. Like, I like it. It's really good. But like, these girls, they eat it like crazy. And so I'm like, Chick-fil-A, come on, slip them a check, please. Now, back to LA, I've got to say that I love Cheyenne's beautiful, loving family, because with all of the issues going on with Ryder's heart, her mom and dad came to the house to pray over the situation with her as she awaited the results. And I thought it was beautiful. The only thing that would make it even more beautiful was if Cheyenne's mom came with her new husband, Cheyenne's stepdad. That would have been nice too. The more prayers, the merrier, right? Right? So that was really, really sweet. Over in Las Vegas, just a little bit of ways there, you've got Ashley's younger sister, Autumn Rosie, who I had never seen before. I said, who the hell is this? I feel like I'm always learning about new siblings in Ashley's universe. I didn't watch Young and Pregnant, so I guess I don't know the full rundown on who she's got around her. You know what? That reminds me, maybe I should go and watch her episode of Young and Pregnant to get a better idea. By the way, is Jade not doing this season? Because I haven't seen her. I haven't seen Big Gulp. I haven't seen Sean. I haven't seen Chloe. What's going on? Like, is she coming later? I know Amber's still not here, but that's because she was kind of like being difficult to film with. So they showed how difficult she was to film with. So at least there's that, but there's no mention of Jade. And I'm getting a little bit concerned at this point. So yeah, like I said, Ashley's younger sister Autumn, who I'm seeing for the first time, looks a bit young to be on her own for an entire year. So I'm wondering, like, is she staying with her dad? Like, is she going off to a boarding school? Is she like a freshman in college? Like, what's the deal with her? Where is she going to be? Who's taking care of her? And then back in West Virginia, Cory and Leah both talked to Allie about having the final say on her wheelchair use. And they're like, I know that you feel like you could do this, you could do that, but we are telling you because we know that you need this for you to be able to do all of these things for a longer time. Like, this is serious. Like, do not overexert yourself just to keep up with the Joneses, like, this is your life. This is your health. You have to listen to us. And so Allie says, well, what if I feel like I can do it? Cory says, listen, we are your parents. And if we say that you cannot, and you have to use your wheelchair. She's like, fine. I said, listen, this just goes to show you, like, having a strong father, like, in the child's lives is so important. In the children's lives is so important, whether you live with the man or not, but for him to step up, like, there's just something about, like, the male energy or presence or whatever that the children respect more or fear more, I should say, than their moms, because they see their moms as like sweet, cuddly, nice, this, that, and men as like almost scary, like, authority, this type of stuff. So, kudos to Cory for always being there for his kids. And it's really important. And I think it's really going to pay off when it comes to how they end up, navigating the world as adults and, like, further on in their teenage careers as well. We do have to go back to Florida, you guys, where Roxanne pulls Devon aside at the pool for the party. And she wants to see how he feels about Stella calling him father. And she asks him to be more present in the kids' lives. So it's like, how many times have we had this conversation? Like, this has been asked before. Devon has already said that he sees Stella as another daughter. Like, we've seen him bring gifts for Stella. Like, he's always trying to step up. Like, they've talked about how Lewis is a deadbeat. And so Stella really needs a father. Like, why do we have to have this conversation again? Like, why is Roxanne so negative? We're here to celebrate Nova's birthday. She's like, you know what? Like, your daughter, if you don't step up more, she's 13. She could be a teenage parent. She needs your attention. And it's true. But I just felt like, listen, just have that convo off camera at this point, because I would be mortified if I were 13 years old. My grandma had that conversation with my father on camera, and a shady ass producer panned to me in my bikini in the pool as they're talking about me potentially getting pregnant at 13. Like, that was too much. I did not appreciate it at all. Okay. Now let's go back. Let me catch my breath. We're going to be in LA for this next scene that we discuss. Okay. So we get a reenacted phone call from the doctor's office to provide Cheyenne with lab results. This whole time I thought we were waiting for lab results about Ryder. The parents came over to pray over it. And it was just the pregnancy blood test that she did. Like, I didn't like the way that they stitched that, because there was something very, very, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what they set us up for. However, we do get an update, or maybe there was like an editing issue, because like the next thing you know, they're talking to us about the results of Ryder's health situation, right? So it turns out that Ryder has to wear a health monitor, or a heart monitor, sorry, so that they know exactly what's going on with her heart and stuff. Like, she's doing a great job of speaking up when something doesn't feel right. However, they're wondering, is some of this stuff like just anxiety? Like, is it from, like, what's going on, right? So they want her to wear it for extended periods of time so that they can have like better information and whatnot. So, I love how far technology has come, like, I know that Cheyenne, Zach, and Cory and Taylor are still holding their breaths when it comes to Ryder's heart and her health and stuff. But it's nice that there's at least something that, like, can be like tapped every time there's like an event, so that they can go back and analyze the data. Like, thank God for technology. Thank God for science. Ooh, Lord. Now, over in Florida, Mackenzie is in bed with Kasani, and I don't even remember what they're talking about, because I was just so busy staring at her dirty ass shoes. She has these white bed sheets, and she's wearing these filthy shoes. And I'm like, what are your filthy shoes doing on in the house? What are they doing on your bed? Like, what is this? This is so weird, but okay. So then she and her dirty ass shoes get off the bed, and they go downstairs to the kitchen to talk about Ganon and how, at that age, the hormones are hormoning a little bit. And so she wants to keep an eye on him. And so he gets a notification. Again, I think it was staged. We're getting very staged here where for his Snapchat or whatever. And so she goes to look and she's like, wow, holy moly, I feel like I don't know who this child is. There are conversations that his friends are having with him about BJs and whatnot. And I said, BJs, not 13-year-olds. What? Like how? 13-year-olds? Like, oh my God, that is crazy, And again, I don't want to go any further into this because I do not think it's appropriate to discuss this sort of topic about children. So I will just leave that there. Again, I do not like that this was aired. It's very mortifying. These children and their friends can see this stuff online. They've all got the smartphones and stuff. They know that they're on TV and that they're famous. And then their friends are watching it. Their friends' parents are watching it. So can you just imagine you're minding your own business and you're like, playing volleyball with your friends at school. And one of them goes, oh, my mom said something about you. Like, and it's one of these explicit things like, will you really talk about BJs on your Snapchat? Like my mom said you're talking about like, oh, like that's so like, oh. And then Nova, imagine her, she's, playing sports or like having fun with her friends or something. And then someone goes, are you pregnant? Because your grandma said something about you being pregnant. Like, oh my God, like, guys, please be careful with the stuff you're putting out there. This is not good. I think it's great that they're educating other parents and stuff, but like, I feel like there could be a better way to do it. And, I hate that their kids are the guinea pigs for this, but I digress. Those were just my thoughts on last week's episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter. As usual, I'm really looking forward or more interested in knowing what you have to say. So please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below and we'll chat. Don't forget, I watched the show using Philo, and I've got a link in the description box of this video that you can use to also watch and catch up on all the old episodes and seasons as well, and plenty of other shows that I cover on my channel, right? Season 2 of Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup. Then we're also going to be talking about Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin's new show as well. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.